All right. All right, everybody. Here we go. On with the show. It's not show tunes. It's Dapper Dividends time. We're live at 11:05. Specifically, why I started at 11:05 just to be able to say that fun little quip. So, what is up, everybody? Happy Sunday to all y'all. I didn't don my chasmic, as my daughter called it when she was a young little baby cheerins. And this is, I don't think you'll be able to see it, but it's Burt's, come on, Burt's Beeswax. Focus, bastard, focus. It won't, I give up. It's Burt's Beeswax, which is owned by Clorox, ticker CLX, CLX, no, CLX. I was reading my shirt, my LMT shirt, which I'm going to tell you why I wore this shirt today. A little bit of news from Lockheed Martin. But before we get started with all that, thank you again for being here and just hanging out for a little bit. I'd love to know where everybody's from. So go ahead. And even if you're watching this on replay, I want to know where more people are from. I'd love to see where you're at right now, or, make it up. I don't care, whatever. But next week, no live stream. I will be in Milwaukee for the Irish Fest. We were just in Milwaukee for German Fest, and this time we're going to be there for Irish Fest, going with some friends and family. So looking forward to that. Going to be a good time. And now, without further ado, the reason why you all came here and clicked in and tuned in on this Sunday morning is my 30% raise. Now, I did want to use the word clickbaity. It's not. I am getting a 30% raise in my after-tax income. So the money that I get after we pay taxes here in the United States just went up 30%. Why? Because at the beginning of the year, my wife and I made the decision that for the first time ever, we wanted to max out the 401k. So we did that. We started with a 30% pre-tax contribution rate to the 401k, and we just maxed it out this week. So there are 20 weeks left, and I believe that's going to be, including last week, 21 more paychecks that I'll be receiving, completely and utterly all mine. Well, obviously we have to pay, certain federal taxes here, but nothing will be going to the 401k because the upper limit here in the United States is $20,500 for 2022. That'll likely increase next year, but baby, that is maxed out. And that 30% is now going to be what we're going to receive. My mind is just racing. It's crazy. We decided to cut back on certain things and live below our means to accommodate that 30% every week going toward the retirement account. So, man, it feels good. I did the math. I ran some of the numbers, and 30% is huge. Now I'm going to be able to, my plans are, we're taking a trip to Prague and Dublin next June. That's the plan. We were supposed to go in 2020, but obviously things were derailed by COVID. So we have a little fun going at Yada that I've been contributing $50 a week to. I may bump that up to $100 a week because I'd like to pay for that trip completely and utterly in cash if possible, or have the cash set aside. We don't really do many things in cash because we want it to be tracked. We're getting better with our budgeting. And when you put it on a debit card or credit card, you can much easier track that. Credit cards offer a lot of different protection for you, consumer protection, and things that, I guess that's not really the modus operandi of this channel is going into credit cards. But yeah, so we're going to Prague, which, because I am Czech predominantly, that's the predominant part of my roots. And roots or roots? I say roots. Do you say roots? Let me know. And my wife is predominantly Irish. So we're going to do like 4 days in Prague and 4 days in Dublin. So looking forward to that. Might be able to hang out and have a pint with my guy, EMF, Engineer My Freedom, who is 50% of the Dividend Talk podcast. I think he's in Waterford, Ireland. So maybe we can meet up. And then speaking of Dividend Talk podcast coming out this week, stay tuned for it. We have a very cool interview. I spoke yesterday with the European Dividend Growth investor, and we had an hour-long chat. So I'm going to turn that into a podcast and a YouTube video. Now, he is anonymous. but I wanted to see his smiling face. So I'm going to have a bunch of videos I'm making over on videos.com just with his little logo. So when I'm going to put that over for the whole interview. So that should be fun. I got that to edit. And after this is over, I'm going to be recording a video that should drop tomorrow morning on 3 dividend ETFs. And this was spurred by last week. I was talking with my Aunt Evelyn, and she wanted to pick my brain. And she's not really big into investing, but would like to learn. So I'm kind of doing it in the vein of somebody that's busy, doesn't have a lot of time. What are 3 dividend ETFs that I would recommend you taking a look at? So we're going to do that. So yeah, that's it. I'd love to know your contribution rate if you're here in the United States, or if you have something similar. If you're outside the US, what percentage of your pre-tax dollars do you contribute? Now we'll go with contribute. I like that better. What do you contribute to your 401k? I'd like to know that. So a little bit of news here. Two things that caught my eye as we get ready to share this here. Let me see here. Oh, the stumbling and bumbling. I forget which one of you said that. I goof things up, and I assure you, it is not by design. It is not at all by design. So here we go. Let's share this. First of all, my Lockheed Martin. Look at this. There was a contract, August 12th, 2020, where Lockheed Martin, they were awarded a not to exceed, a NT3 of $7.63 billion to make aircraft. So what are they making? They're going to be making 129 aircrafts. I believe that is 49 F-35s, 3 F-35Bs for the Marine Corps. Those F-35s were for the Air Force. Go Navy, 15 F-35Cs for the Navy, 32 F-35As, and 4 F-35Bs for non-U.S. Department of Defense participants. I don't know if that is like private contractors or such. That is an interesting one. And 16 F-35s for foreign military sales customers, and 69 ship sets of technical hardware. And check it out, dude. They're performing that work in Fort Worth, Texas, El Segundo, California, United Kingdom, Italy, Orlando, New Hampshire, Baltimore, San Diego, Nagoya, Japan, and various other locations outside the continental United States. So I think that's big for Lockheed Martin. And as I tweeted out, this is one of the ways I look at as getting some of my tax dollars back through Lockheed's dividends by investing in companies that do government work and have government contracts. And I did see there was another one. Yeah, this is an interesting on the Department of Defense. They were awarded $53 million modification. So things like that get for Joint Strike Fighter aircraft variant. It's just interesting. The different things that I didn't see this. There's Raytheon. What's up? Shout out Raytheon. Who invests in Raytheon outright? So, all right, we'll stop there. And then the other thing I wanted to show you was this article I came across on Seeking Alpha, which, by the way, if you wanted to join the premium for a year, you can get it for $99. There is my special little affiliate code link, copy and paste, and I'll get kicked back like $40 with no additional cost to you. But Petrobras Brazil unveiled new footing with record dividend. Now, I know somebody brought up Petrobras, and I just really quickly wanted to point out their yield is now 21.3%, which, dude, that is massive. Their payout ratio, as I'll show you in a second, doesn't look too bad currently right now. And according to Benjamin Halliburton, which is the website. No, that's him. Benjamin Halliburton of buildingbenjamins.com. If this isn't accurate, bring it up with Mr. Benjamin. But he says that Petrobras's dividends are guaranteed at above $40 per barrel, paying out a minimum of 25% of net income as a base. And as you know, oil is still in the $90 a barrel range. So apparently what I hear, and this is interesting, and a little thought on this, is their dividend growth, huge, 976% increase last, and a 25% 10-year CAGR, but obviously boosted by that huge dividend raise there. Now, foreign taxes are withheld with Petrobras, and they just went ex-dividend 2 days ago. So this is a little bit late, but yeah, they do pay biannual every June and September. So too bad I didn't see this sooner. I wonder how many people got in just for that, and they're going to try to capture that dividend and then bounce on out. But just looking at their, here we go. If I can blow it up. Whoop, too big. Their free cash flow payout ratio, only 41% right now. So that is really big. And I wanted to take a look at their shares outstanding, just 13 billion shares, which is a lot. They're not diluting shareholders. And their net debt, like a lot of the oil companies, now this started in 2016. They've been paying down that debt. Look at that, 38% net debt to capital right now, which is definitely a thumbs up. So who is invested in Petrobras Brazil? This looks really interesting to me. And I guess as long as dividends, or as long as the barrel of oil is above $41, then it should be pretty solid. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got to start this out with. And I want to talk to you guys now. I want to know what you're buying, what you bought this week, what you're seeing. We can look up a few stocks, whatever. I'm going to hang out with you for another, 45 minutes or so. And let me get caught up with these comments. I've been trying to do this quicker because I hate that I'm reading comments that are like 15, 20 minutes old. So yeah, let's see here. We got bored retirees says need to work on teaching Ryan about covered calls. Yeah, that'd be fun if he would do it. I think he may have some interest, but not enough to get into it right now. But yeah, and you got to have 100 shares of a company to do a covered call, unless you want to do it naked, which I would not recommend doing. That's just yep. Thanks. Yeah, my sister-in-law made this, and obviously I can't do the reverse here. It messes with my brain. So it's like flying a plane, right? Left is right, up is down. Anyway, yeah. So Shamir in Canada, board retiree in Little Rock. Cool. Little Rock. I've never been to Arkansas. Northern Cal, Steve, NorCal. What's up, man? Michigan for blue collar built. Dude, this is so cool. Look at Cold Shiver in the Netherlands. And is that, yeah, that is Sub-Zero, I think, right? On your avatar there. Dude, I love Mortal Kombat when I was young. Still love it. Who plays Mortal Kombat? Apparently Cold Shiver does. Jesse in Pennsylvania. Nice. Germany. Michael, look at that. We're international here. This is crazy. Just from my house. Love the community. Look around whenever you're on like mine or anybody's European dividend growth investor, anybody's live stream or their comments. Look around. That's your family, dude. This is our dividend investing family and community. Let's see. Are you missing out on matching contributions from your employer by maxing out so early in the year? I don't believe so because it's on a percent basis. So I've already gotten it. They do it up to a percent, which honestly, I don't remember what it is because I knew I was going to max out. So I'm going to get likely the max of what they match. So we should be all good there. And I may have already maxed that out. But yeah, good question. And I don't really think that is going to be an issue because it's a percentage. So I guess if it was nominal amounts every week, maybe. But yeah, let's see. No, free. No, I already checked. And I don't really share the 401k stuff on the channel, but I looked and I've already gotten quite a bit of contributions from the employer. So I've already well over that 20,500. And I believe I may have, I'm going to call HR. This is why I like bringing this stuff up with you guys. I love the comments and the thoughts and the questions. And, you're helping me as much as I may be helping you. So this is just great. 11% to Roth TSP. Okay. That's TSP. That's Canadian, I think, right? Yeah. TSP. What am I saying? That's what is TSP again? That's educators, or that's the 403B? There's so many numbers here. It's easy to get confused. I don't remember what TSP is. Camera Ray. Yep. Max the 401 and his Roth. Yeah, I also have a Roth, and something we may actually do now since we're having extra money. I might just open up a Roth for my wife and max that out as well. So I have a Roth that I've maxed out, but for her we don't. So that's pretty cool, man. I like that. That's a good idea. Um, put 12K, yeah, 403B. That's the one for educators, I believe, and 12K into the taxable brokerage, 1500 HSA. Yeah, cool, man. So I'm definitely going, like I said, I'm going to be beefing up the taxable account, the emergency fund. I want to get that just a little bit higher, and then contributing to that European vacation fund that we started that we're really trying to grow. Here we go. And 1500 in a Fundrise. Yeah, how is that? I've been using Lofty. I haven't really put anything else into lofty.ai. Now that is like Fundrise, but it's situated on the Algorand blockchain. So you need an Algorand wallet in order to be part of that. So you get tokens for the property, and that's how they pay you. But it's cash. We get, I guess, cash dividends every day, depending on how many properties you have. Yeah, I'll only put that in the comments for anybody that might want to check that out. That's lofty.ai. Oh yeah, look at it. It's interesting. No Raytheon. Okay. Into LHX, L3 Harris, right? And Lockheed Martin. Yeah, I'm sorry, I clicked you twice. What? Looking to start a position at LMT. Just got out of Cardinal Health and BKE. Don't remember BKE because their free cash flow was lower than dividend payouts. Yeah, again, I love keeping an eye on the free cash flow, man. That free cash flow is the number that is going to be so hard to manipulate, I guess, unless you are IBM and they have adjusted free cash flow. I'm not sure exactly what the adjustment is, but the adjustments can be pretty much anything, right? It's all up to the accounting department, and it's financially engineered. Let's see, blue collar bill. I love it. 6% to the 401k gets me the full employer match. After that, I fund my Roth and a little bit in the taxable brokerage. Cool. Yeah. So for a while, I was doing the minimum to get the match. And then, we did that for years. And then I just thought, like, you know what? We really should be maxing this thing out, because why not? Let's just do it. So this was, like I said, the first year that we went ahead and just said, let's just do this. And it's been, I won't lie, a few times I've looked and thought maybe I should decrease it because we've come close to needing more cash, but no, we made it work. We just made it work. And now it's like I'm getting a 30% raise. Let's see. Live stream with Ryan yesterday. No, I did a live stream with Ryan on Friday night for his dividend happy hour. That's when I was drinking the Pilsner Kel. As I chew on some ice, which that is not Pilsner, but I was drinking Pilsner. We did the dividend happy hour, which was fun. That was cool. Yeah, I thought I saw you in there, Steve. I guess not. Here we go. My answer: thrift savings plan for U.S. military and federal employees. That's right. Yeah, I don't have anything from my time in the military, in the Navy days. Just Social Security, I guess. I do use the VA. I stay current here in the United States with the Veterans Administration, which, by the way, if anyone here is a veteran and you haven't enrolled in the VA healthcare, why not? You just go once a year. You don't have to use it. It's there if you want. And, I actually did use it once just to get a checkup. Last summer, I was under the weather, and I got the Z-Pack. I didn't pay anything. It was really cool. At least here in Chicago, they are affiliated. The one I go to, which is Hines VA in Maywood, they are affiliated with UIC, University of Illinois at Chicago Medicine. So it's really good. I am really, really, really pleased with it so far. So who else uses the VA out there? Anybody? Any of you other 19 wonderful, shiny, happy people? Let's see. Camaray just started the Fundrise a few months ago, but he's up a few percent. Nice. And then this guy said something about Lofty AI. Sorry. Just, double check with HR. Some 401k plans only match out contributions from each check if you max out early. Yeah, that's a good point. And yeah, thank you. Thanks for sharing that. And this is something that I really should do, and I didn't look into. And it's too late now. I've already maxed it out, but we will know for next year. And if that is the case, then I'm definitely going to dial that back. But we have, like I said, we've gotten a bunch of cash already that they've matched and is already contributed and in there and working and already starting to grow. My wife is actually a stay-at-home mother right now, so I may just do the 401k, the 401k, the Roth for her. So I love that, man. Nice. I'm all caught up. Look at the, oh, I was almost. Comic book. Oh, I love words. Sometimes I fancy myself a bit of a wordsmith, but aesthete. I don't know what that. It looks like aesthetic to me, but anyway, if you're growing an emergency savings bucket, how many months pay are you aiming for? 3, 5, 8. What means are you saving? So my emergency savings right now is in Yada, which I don't know how many of you are familiar with Yada, but they have combined. So it's FDIC insured. They have, I think it's through Evolve Bank that everything is run, which is the bank. So it's FDIC insured, which is up to 250K. But what they do is something called a no loss lottery, where we won't get as much of a percentage return or as high. So just to make the math simple, say we were going to get, I don't know, they were going to pay 2% interest APR. What they would do is they would give you 1% and then take your 1%, take everybody's other 1% and put it into a pool. So then they put that money into one big pot, and then every day they drop a ball. So 6 balls. And then on Sunday night at 8:00 is my time, is the Yada ball. And you can win cash. Sometimes I've won like $7 or $10, and other weeks it's been like 35 cents extra. But they call it a no loss lottery because you're not putting anything up. The only, I guess, sacrifice is you're not, I don't know if that's the word I want to use. Not your opportunity cost is you're not getting the full, if it were 2%, just making, I don't remember what it is right now, but instead you do have the chance to win some nice at the very top Teslas. I think the grand prize, if you match all 6 and the Yada ball, is $10 million. But if other people match that too, then you'd have to split it with them. But it's fun. It gives me something to look at and numbers to root for. And I don't play the lottery, so it's kind of a gamified version of saving. And every time you put in $25, you get 1 ticket. And if you share it, they give extra tickets. And I don't know who else uses Yada. I'd love to know. I'd love to know that. Oh, but anyway, to get back to your question here. So I'm aiming for at least 6 months, and we're pretty much there. But one thing I did that may not be for everybody is I paid off 5 months ahead of our mortgage. So right now we're 5 months ahead. And if I didn't, I wouldn't need to pay anything to our mortgage for 5 months. So that's kind of cool. Like, that is part of that emergency savings plan. And again, that's not for everybody, but for me, I just wanted to be done with it and be 5 months ahead. So, I say I, but my wife and I, our family, that just knowing that if something happened, we're in our house for 5 months before we need to figure out the next mortgage payment. So that's part of it. And then, yeah, like I said, it's just through Yada. So I wanted to have that access to that money if I need be. Hope that answers your question. Board retiree, USAF retiree. So he still uses active duty medical offices. That's cool. But yeah, you're a retiree. I just did my short little 4 years, got out right out of high school. And I just did the VA thing maybe like 4 years ago. So I felt like I didn't want to be a drain on the system, but I was talking to a Vietnam vet who lives a few doors down, and he said, dude, he's like, you got to do it. You earned it, and just enroll. You never know. You may use it sometime. Let's see. If you contributed to a Roth 401k, yeah, no, this is just a regular traditional 401k. You might be able to match, pull some out and recontribute. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I guess it's a nice problem to have. But you're right. I am going to Monday contact HR and find out, I guess, the finer details, and then I'll let you guys know. I'll put a post. I'll do a community post and just tell you James Bond was in the Navy before becoming a spy. Hey, that was the English Navy, right? Hey, look at this, my guy. What's up, Ryan? What's up, buddy? Yeah, I almost didn't jump on today, and then you all know it was short notice, which is probably why there's a few less viewers. And I forgot I'll usually share it on Twitter and whatnot. But um, yeah, I love that. Love what? I don't know. I love talking to all of you guys that you showed up, that I could just give like a little, like not even 2 hours notice, and you all made it. So yeah, Starbucks putting it all in there. There he goes. Yeah, so Ryan, I watched that video too. I won't spoil it. Had a couple interesting stocks there that he said everyone should know about. And dude, what about 190 a share? Okay, I'll tell you guys about Starbucks, what was going on with me. So, I've been selling options, and this is the downside of covered calls. This is the dirty little secret, the dirty little truth about selling covered calls. So, I had in April 20th, actually on my birthday, I sold a cash secured put for $82 on Starbucks. For those of you that don't know, it means I had $8,200 in cash sitting in the brokerage account at Schwab. And I said, I will gladly buy 100 shares of Starbucks at $82 if it should get there. And at the time, it was just under $84. And sure enough, it got to 82, went all the way to like, what was the low? God, we hit like the high 60s or 71 or something for a minute. So it looked bad there. And then Starbucks has just been coming up. And on the way back up, I was selling covered calls and staying ahead of it. But I got those shares called away at $82. I believe just on options, not including dividends, I'm like $630, something like that I've made just off of the options, couple dividend cycles in there as well. But I had those shares called away at $82. Oh, I'm sorry. I said 82. On April 20th, it was $80. That's right. I got these called away at 82. So I got 8,200, and then it was at like 83, and I wanted to get back in, and I sold like $153 covered calls 3 weeks ago, and it didn't go down. As you know, it's just kept going up and up. And it's tough because I have that 8,200, and I think in the overall, just in cash, I'm at like 86, but I wanted to buy some other things. So I think we may have another leg down. I think I talked about this with Ryan, so this is the bad part. We were at $87 a share, but there I am, just got paid to 82. That's kind of the dark little thing. So I'm hoping for a nice substantial pullback, and I can just sell another cash secured put and get back in. But, I guess looking back in hindsight, I should have just bought those shares right back at like $83 or $84 a share. But, we don't know what's going to happen. So does anyone else think that we're in a bear covering rally or bear market rally or short covering rally is what I meant to say, where because there was so many people short from how far down we were, that as soon as we start coming back up a little bit, then all the shorts have to buy back those shares so they can cover. And that just further fuels and pushes prices up. So I'd like to know. Crypto Sonica, VTI or VOO? So off the top of my head, I believe that they're similar, right? I know I look at VTSAX, and what is the counterpart out there? Help me out, guys. What's the counterpart of VT? There's the Admiral shares, I think, is VTSAX, but then the ETF version of it is VTI, right? But VOO, let me look that up. I don't remember. Is that there? Yeah, that's the S&P 500 version of, so like when you see SPY, SPY, then VOO is kind of one, from what I understand, the pretty much the same thing of that, but it's just Vanguard's fund instead of the Spider fund. But they're very similar, if I remember. But I guess if I had to pick one, I might just do the total market right? That's what VTI is. It's the total market. Yeah, the total stock market ETF. So how many are in that one? That was founded in 92, by the way. Yeah, I mean, they're both Vanguard. I think they're both good, but there's a $1.22 trillion market cap on VTI, and VOO's is 863 billion. So it's just a little bit more expansive, includes a little bit, a few more companies, and the dividend yields are the same. So VTI is 1.41%, but VOO is 1.41%. Honestly, I would probably just go with VTI if you had to get exposure to a few more companies. Not financial advice, just my opinion. If I had to pick one of the two, I would probably just go with VTI. What do you guys think? Would you go VTI or VOO? I want to hear your opinions too. Yeah, Starbucks on a bit of a bull run. Yeah, 68 or 69. I thought I remember seeing the 60s and I was like, but it's okay. Yeah, VOO, plenty of international exposure versus the total market. Yeah, interesting board. I've never, I guess, dug real deep into these because I'm not much of an ETF investor, although I do have those two ETFs for the kids' wedding fund. But yeah, interesting. Yeah. Let's see. Let's look at Starbucks real quick since we're talking about it. I'm going to go ahead and just pull it up on the old SSD. Hold on a second, everybody. It's a lot harder when you're by yourself, right, Ryan? If you're still watching. Oh, well. Let's go to the SPUCs. So SPUCs, make it a little bigger. Some of you people have old eyes, I know. It's big enough. You can read it, right? Yeah, what I like about Starbucks. So let me see what stands out. So my shares, of course, I only have 34 now, but I've been vacillating between 134 and 34 every time I lose those. And those are in the self-directed IRA, the 100 that I've been doing it. So I haven't paid any taxes on that, which is nice. But dude, yeah, Starbucks, just fantastic. I'm a big fan. And I'm hoping, I want to get back in. I kind of miss my shares. 8.9%. They raised the dividend in September of 21. So they are due for another increase right around the corner. 21% 10-year CAGR. Let's see. Yeah, $1.96. So they should be announcing a dividend increase. And I'm thinking that maybe at the investor day in September, right? They moved it up from December to September. So I think next month they're going to maybe have a big increase, which was 8.9? I don't know. Maybe they'll go. You heard it here first. I think they're going to try to reiterate confidence in the company and do something like maybe Target did. Maybe not as big, but I could see them doing a 10% dividend hike. So keep your eye out for that. You heard it here first on the Dapper Dividends program. And let's see. So yeah, kind of on sale right now. The dividend is 10% above the 5-year average. And the PE is right in line, 27.7 versus 27.9. But compared to the consumer discretionary, 14.4. So they're way, way above that. A lot of people paying up for quality, I suppose. And free cash flow payout ratio, 75%, little bit high. I'd like to see that a little lower. But earnings per share, dude, just look at that, 90 cents in 2012 and currently at $3.17. They're projecting the next 12 months. Just Starbucks, great company. This is one thing I always like to look at here is when you see the shares outstanding going down, meaning they're buying back shares, and the sales going in the opposite direction. That is just stellar because they can financially engineer the earnings per share number by just buying back shares because that'll make earnings per share just rise with less shares to spread even the same amount of earnings over. But sales, that's what I like to see is more money coming in the door. And what's their debt at? Yeah, this is obviously kind of wrong. And this is one thing I always say, look at the financial statements. If take these with a grain of salt because they're showing that their net debt is currently zero. So apparently they went from 94% net debt in 2018 to zero in 2019. Don't think that's right. And 994 ICR. But yeah, Starbucks is very solid. Oh, I like them. All right, back to the VTI VOO. Love it. Yeah, blue collar bill. I think you said it right. I don't think you're going to go wrong with either. And I think it's just if you want a little bit more international exposure, go with VTI. But if you just want to stick to the US, and I guess the companies in the VOO, right, that are US companies have international exposure, just they're not based outside of it. So, yeah, Crypto says Starbucks had to close many locations, still do well. I think so. I mean, they sell an addictive product. Every time I go by a Starbucks, there's people in line. There's always cars in line. I think now, how do you mean close? Like in China? Because I know a lot of those are temporary, but I know they have the unionization issues that Howard Schultz has talked about. But I don't know. I think they're gonna be okay. Do I think the market will go up or down next week? Oh, I wish I had my chart up. I don't want to keep it. I'd have to set it up on stockcharts.com. I think we're going to have a drop either next week or the week after, because just for the simple fact that I think this rally has gone up really fast, really quick. Again, I think a lot of it was a short covering rally, and there is a big gap. Now, I know a lot of you aren't chart readers, and I learned a lot about chart reading back in my swing trading days, right before I became a dividend growth investor. Well, dividend investor, and then it was a short hop, skip, and a jump is what I'm trying to say, to dividend growth investing. But there is oh, hell with it. Let me bring it up while you guys are talking amongst yourselves. Let me just pull up the SPY. I can show you guys what I was looking at. So I don't have my oscillators set up, but all right, let me bring this up here. Let me share my screen. Give you guys a little bit of charting here, what I see. What I'm looking at here. Let me share this tab. All right, so, oh boy, that's going to make some people dizzy. Thanks, Fidelity. Let me slide you out of the way here. All right, so this is the S&P 500 ETF, the Spider S&P 500 ETF. And right here, I don't risk magnifying it too much. All right, so this is the daily chart. Each one of these candlesticks represents a day's price activity. I'm watching on my phone to make sure I got it. Oh, hold on, Jesse. Let me take your comment down. It's blocking up a little of that. Okay, so did I do it? I did it. I did do it. I'm so proud of myself. Anyway, so this gap right here, and all that a gap is the stock price closed down on this day, and then the next day, the next trading day, it opened way, way up. So right in here is this gap. Now, gaps on the S&P 500 usually fill, not always, but usually. So if we go back and we look left, because they say chart leaves clues, the only gap so far that hasn't filled, which would be nasty, is there's a small little gap down here, and we got Fidelity with this blessed color chromatic. But anyway, so this is back in, oh my God, this is what happens when you do it for free, people. Let's do that. So this is when the market was dropping, several weeks ago. I'm trying to do the math. Each one of these doing 5 is a week. But yeah, so you see there's a gap here, small gap there. But all these gaps, that one filled here. This gap filled quickly here. And it's usually on the upside and the downside. Not a lot of gaps going way back. Yeah, see, there's not a lot of gaps. We've had more gaps, which has been more trading volatility. This is all short-term stuff, by the way. But that's, anyway, this little gap I'm looking at here right around, what is that, 410, 11, 413-ish or so. Plus, we are coming up to this red line here, which is the 200-day moving average. And the last time we came towards the 200-day moving average, it hit a little bit of resistance, and then it went back down. and then it broke through the blue line, which is the 50-day moving average of 393. So I would not be surprised if I'm going to get my charting predicting hat on to answer your question. I think it's going to bump up, maybe just be right around the 430, right? That's the, sorry if you're getting dizzy, 429.33 is the 200-day moving average. I think we're going to bump up and get a little bit of resistance here. And then I'm sure we're going to start drifting back down and probably maybe around 412, 413, 414. It'll go here and close, maybe a tail down, a wick down, and pull up. So yeah, when that's going to happen, I don't know, but that's my guess. So charting it's an art and not a science. It's not predictive of the future. We don't know what's going to happen, but that's my guess from being an amateur and looking at the charting. So what do you guys think of that? Do you like charting? I mean, I enjoy it. I use charting and momentum, right? So that is technical analysis. When you're looking at momentum, I use technical analysis to try to find a support and resistance point for options. But fundamental analysis is when you're right, using the fundamentals of the company, looking at what the earnings and all that. So yeah, to answer your question, Jesse, that's what I think is going to happen. I think there's going to be a slight pullback either this week or next week, and we're going to fill that gap. So, I don't know. Do you like that? Did you guys learn something? You guys, 14-year-old, a bank account, a credit card, and Fidelity Youth Brokerage. Wow. Which stock or ETF would I recommend starting for a kid? Daughter's thinking about J&J. Well, trying to get them interested. I did this with my daughters. We got their stimmy checks. And thankfully, we're in a position where we didn't need that money. I didn't ask for it. We did donate a portion of it to charity. So we want to teach our kids to be charitable. But the rest of it, we opened up Schwab accounts for them. I opened up custodial accounts. And I took those stimmy checks, deposited the cash, and picked out, I think I had like 10 to 12 dividend companies that I pre-selected for them, said would be okay, and let them pick. We have in there like Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, Hasbro. My one daughter has Starbucks. My older one wanted some Tesla, so we got Tesla. They both picked Apple. I didn't even put Apple on there because of the low yield, but they both said they wanted to own Apple. So, we'll do that. But, as far as if they're not interested, I would probably do like SCHD because J&J is one of the top holdings and SCHD has a very low expense ratio. You're not going to learn as much, but if somebody's not going to be interested or pay attention, then I think an ETF like that would make sense. And I'd love to know what you guys would think for our comic book friend. And I'm going to look that word up, man. I'm embarrassed I don't know how to say it. Hey, Cody, what's up, man? Citizen of the Year. Check out Cody's channel on YouTube here. Let's go to NASCAR street course. Yeah, I think there's a bunch of us going. So for those of you that don't know, there's going to be a NASCAR. There's a NASCAR race on the NASCAR course in Chicago. So I'm definitely going. I have friends and family that are going. So we could definitely meet up, man. Nick, what's up, Nick? Good to see you, man. VTI includes the mid caps and small caps as well as large. VOO is just large caps. Okay. And all are US based. VXUS. I love the community. I love this community. Thank you. And this just stems from me from not really being an ETF investor. So I have a little bit of knowledge, but thank you. Yeah, I must have missed that. I don't remember hearing them closing a lot of USA locations. Yeah, did I just plain miss that? I must have, because I remember hearing about China, and there's a reason for it. If they were underperforming, I don't know. I know sometimes there's Starbucks that are in really close proximity to each other. So I don't know the inner workings of that. Do you know what reasons they gave, if any? QYLD. Yeah, I know. I haven't torn into it. That's the covered call on the Qs, right? That's the Qs covered call ETF. Yeah, I think if I'm wrong, correct me, but I don't know. I think it's okay. I know it's really popular. I see a lot of people on FinTwit talking about that. Did the same for the two boys. ETFs. There we go. SPY the Qs, SOXQ, the semiconductor and ETF. Cool. Sprinkle a little Apple, Google, Microsoft, Amazon. Yeah. Um, oh, and Roblox too. They play Roblox. So we got a share of Roblox, which was bad. It was around $80 a share. I kind of knew better, but you know what? I had a feeling it might, if tech started collapsing, which it did, then it's a learning lesson. And I can tell them, see, this is what happens. Just because something's high, it can go really low, and it does not ever mean that's a beginner mistake I've seen a lot of people make, is that you can look at how high a stock once was, but it does not mean that it's going to go back there ever. And a lot of times it often doesn't. So always keep that in mind. Hey, do I ever look at the Charles Schwab equity ratings? I used to. I used to, but I know that they're driven by an algorithm. It's not like where Simply Save Dividends, that's three guys. And I know because I emailed Brian Bollinger and had a really quick email exchange with him. But there's from when that was, there was just like three people that him and two other guys, and they kind of run Simply Save Dividends. So they devote a lot of time to it, and they go over everything. Where I know Schwab has an algorithm that's giving things those ratings, and it's based on momentum and yield. And there's just a ton of things that go into it that I don't fully understand. So I kind of take that with a grain of salt. And I've seen some that, I identified a stock as looking good and I wanted to get into it. And then I'd look and they'd give it like a D or a C. And I'd be like, it would sour me, but oh, I didn't even know C ranking. So there you go. Yeah. And I think again, they use like momentum and price and PE, and there's a whole bunch of different metrics that are built into that. SPY expense ratio 3x higher than VOO. Yeah, Vanguard's the place to go, man. If Vanguard and Schwab, because Schwab mimics a lot of Vanguard's ETFs, and they also do that with the really low expense ratios. So like VYM has like a 0.06%, and then SCHD has a 0.06% as well. So, which is $6 on a $10,000 investment annually. They'll be able to sell options on the position. Yeah, see, that's interesting. Yeah. Oh, and that's the thing too. Right. Yep. Yeah. Oh, dude, I love you guys. I love that. See, I didn't even think of that because ETFs trade like stocks, right? So a lot of times, if you're in a mutual fund, you can't sell options on it. They don't intraday move, I don't think at all. They rebalance at the end, the end of the day. But yeah, like if you were to go SPY or VTI, something like that, VOO, you can sell options on those if you so wanted to. So yeah, I like that a lot. PSI as well. Interesting. This, Sox Q makes me think of the White Sox going broke. That's they put the Q after the end of a company that's in bankruptcy. Anyway, it's an inside Chicago joke. A lot of AMAT. Okay, that's Applied Materials, right? Oh, all these tickers. There we go. I love this. Watching some of your vids. Yeah, spread the love, man. I love it. That's Cody. He's in Chicago too. So we're eventually going to do a live chat, something together. Crime situation. Oh, I think you're right, Shamir. I think I did hear something about that. Yeah. I talk dividends with people. Good. I love it, guys. There we go. I get Value Line and Morningstar online for free through the public library. Those two resources. I think Morningstar is great. They share a lot of information free. And I would look into, I don't even think you have to fund it, but if you open up an account with Schwab, which is free, they have, I haven't used them in a while, but they have analyst reports free of charge for like Reuters and Morningstar, the Morningstar equity reports for individual stocks, and for sectors, they'll do the sector reports, which I really should get back into reading those. So Schwab has a lot of resources in and of themselves. So I would look into that. I don't think you need to. I don't even think you need to fund it. You just open up an account with Schwab. So that's definitely that's definitely something you could do. Hey, anybody want me to look up something? 10 more minutes. I'm going to get out of here, and then I'm going to little inside baseball. I'm going to go upstairs and put my my J&J shirt on, and then record the video that's going to come out tomorrow. So should be fun. I can't have the same shirt on now, can I? It'd be boring. But yeah, let's go. You know what? Let's do this. In case you guys missed it, I do Twitter updates. So let me share some of the recent dividend increases from Simply Safe Dividends. Let me share that tab. Dun, 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 dun. Back to top, and you hit latest, and then they give you this. So Broadridge, I know Jeremy said he invests in Broadridge, I think from dividendstockpile.com. They boosted their dividend 13%, which is their every year. They've boosted since going public in 2007. They're a fintech leader. I don't know what they do. They refresh an outlook on Main Street. I know that's an interesting one. They call it safe. H&R Block raised their dividend 2.5%. Small, but that's their second year of consecutive growth. 2.5% yield, 57, borderline safe. IFF, I think this is International Flavors. I think they make food chemicals I think we talked about this, didn't we? Bumped at 2.5%. WP Carey, they reiterated their safe rating, 4.82% yield. But I love it. Just these little quick hits showing that, though, the yield is below their 5-year average. So I get excited when the yield is above the 5-year and the PE is below the 5-year. That's kind of like the sweet spot I look for. And then ITW, I think you guys saw this, raised their dividend 7.4%. They've extended every year since 72 and a safety score of 81. And then, all right, two more. They I can't say it this morning. Reiterated their safety score of 70 on realty income. And yeah, that yield is below the 5-year. So I like adding when it's above, like with Skyworks. Speaking of semiconductors, 11% hike, 6th straight year of double-digit raises, and their yield is way above. And before we click off, let me just go to the timeliness here. Perfect. There we go. This is a good setup. Just to get things started, this is when I really look into, do I want to buy more? Their current dividend yield is 50% above the 5-year, and their PE of 10 is below the 5-year of 14. Just really cool, man. Their current price, $113. It was as high as $186. And let me look at that. All right. It's hard for me to just not look at more. Free cash flow payout ratio, only 39%. Nice free cash flow per share, although it's dropping just a little bit, assuming that's from some of what we have going on in the world. Yeah, sales growth dropped a little bit. Shares outstanding, been nicely buying back since 2015. And their sales a little bit flat, 19 to 20, but nice. $5. ROE and ROIC, both up there, looking good. Free cash flow margin, 11%. Operating margin, 28%. But their net debt is increasing. Not terrible, but went from 21 to 25%. That's something I would keep an eye on. And interest coverage ratio is $34.34 of operating income to cover every $1 of interest expense. So kind of fun there. Look at that. We just did a little thing on Skyworks. Interesting company. I've never really looked into them that much. Oh, here we go. My absolute favorite dividends, the ones that are increasing. Yeah. There's so many. All the ones I invest in, it's like trying to pick, a favorite kid. But obviously, I'm wearing Lockheed Martin. I like Lockheed Martin. PepsiCo, I think, is solid. But best of the best. J&J, I like J&J, even though I know people think they have issues with their pipeline, and so they're going to have, I think they have some headwinds coming with the Inflation Reduction Act that was passed, but um, there's so many, but I think, oh God, let's see, kind of caught me off guard because I'm trying to think of how I want to phrase that, but you know what? If you're asking just absolute favorite, and the one I feel the safest with right now is still J&J. Oh, Procter and Gamble. It's not a sexy company, but probably the most close to a bond proxy and solid dividends. Although it is their payout ratio is, getting a little bit high. Online journal, Wall Street Journal, free online through the public library. That's interesting. I haven't done that. CE, Celanese. Did you want me to? I don't know what CE is. Let me look really quick. Celanese. I'll put it on for you since you're so nice. We'll do this. Try and do this quick with Celanese because I've never even heard of them. So since you're so kind to swing by. Specialty chemicals. Okay, material company. High performance engineered polymers. Kind of reminds me a little bit of like a LyondellBasell. No. Acesulfame potassium. I know there's some health nuts that have problems with those. Sweeteners. Okay. Interesting. $12 billion market cap. Dividend yield, 2.31%. Let's see what their dividend safety. Wait, what did they give them? Yeah, 77%. Wow. Nice 10-year CAGR of 29%, 15% 5-year. Not a very 12% dividend growth streak. And it looks like it's frozen. Now that before we get to the financials, I'm just curious to see if they're hitting their free cash flow payout ratio, if that's getting a little bit high. Timeliness, that looks good. That the yield is 19% above the 5-year, and their forward PE is pretty decently below the 5-year. Oh, free cash flow has been dropping 20%. That looks good. Free cash flow per share looks good. Their earnings per share growth, okay, negative 22%. Sales have been growing. Total sales growing, only 110 million shares. They've substantially bought back quite a bunch of shares in the last 10 years. And wow, return on equity high, return on invested capital high, good free cash flow margin, operating margin. And their net debt has been going down. Net debt to EBITDA been going down, and really high interest coverage ratio. Very interesting, everyone. I would look into Celanese. Very cool. I'm glad we looked. That one is definitely on the watch list, and I'd love to know if anyone else invests in that. Investing in TD, Canadian Bank. Never really looked into it. Shamir might know more about TD than I do. Toronto Dominion, dividend safety score of 80 and a 4.11% yield. Looks pretty good. Here we go. Yeah, good. Shamir, thank you. Love it. Largest holding. Yeah, Shamir, I had a feeling would know more about that than I do. That is Simply Safe dividends, and they are a bit pricey. It's $399 a year, but I'm using it a lot on the channel. So what few dollars I get from doing the YouTube thing, I put into the channel, so I'm putting it into that because I enjoy sharing that stuff with you and doing these live streams, and we can look up things like that. Diplomats, J&J addressing the headwinds. Oh, good. I'm gonna have to watch that because I don't want to ruin it and spoil it, but I did sell Merck. So not all of it. I was buying it, but after I saw what was in the Reduction Act, and I've heard some of it, where there's smoke, there's fire. And I think there are indeed headwinds coming for the next several years for the healthcare and especially the pharmaceutical industry. And with J&J spinning off consumer health, they're kind of going to become like a biopharma company because I know that was the main driver of their revenue. So yeah, Steve, B and G. I hope you're okay. Laughing with I was gonna say, yeah, that's a little. Ugh. Okay, cool. Celanese makes plastic similar to Lyondell Basel. Use both at work. Hey, that's fantastic, Bill. Yeah, it looks really interesting, and I could see myself moving from Lyondell Basel into a Celanese if I mean, that's way preliminary, and I'd really have to do some more research. But they're in the same sector, so I think um, Lyondell's payout ratio was getting a little bit high. But I've been in Lyondell for quite a while. So, all right, man, that's an hour. That's an hour, peeps. We made it. We did it. I got to go change my shirt, record a video. My daughter starts high school tomorrow. First day freshman year. I will officially, even though, by the way, shout out to my daughter, Ivy. She made the volleyball team for freshman year. She tried out. She made the cut. And tomorrow school starts. So I will officially be the parent of a high schooler. But yeah. Oh, hold on. One more question. Having Unilever without PG. Oh, are you asking would I invest in Unilever without investing in PG? I think Unilever, they had a better earnings report than the last few. And I think Unilever could be a good buy low. I don't think they're a value trap, but they're not to the level of a PG yet. But yeah, I would pick PG over Unilever. Yeah. So again, yeah, cheers. Thanks everybody. And what is Dapper Dividends? Well, that's a name I picked just in about 3 seconds when I was putting this channel together. And I thought maybe it was something, I want to have good looking dividends, Dapper Dividends. I was like, go, done. And it's stuck, but I don't know. It's just good looking dividends. That's all. Don't look too much into it. It's really nothing more than just a name, just something that people might remember. And I thought it might stick out more than my name. And as you see, I've changed it because it's now Russ Knopf's Dapper Dividends. So anyway, guys, all right, I'm going to end this. So thanks for the congrats to my daughter. I wish she was excited about going to school, but what kid is? So check out the video tomorrow. Again, I have that interview with EDGI coming up. I'm going to drop that on Thursday morning, as well as I'm going to make it into a podcast. So appreciate it, everybody. I enjoy you. Thanks for stopping by. Again, I'll be in Milwaukee for Irish Fest next weekend. If anyone's going to be at Irish Fest in the old MKE, say hi. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.